Hello everyone, welcome back to Wawa AS. So welcome back to this lecture series on the Vision Economy PT365. This is part 10 where we are going to discuss with the labor and employment. So this is continuation of the previous part. Hope you have watched that where we have discussed some of the issues related to labor and employment. Now we will continue with the same. ठीक है, तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. The first thing what we have is startup ecosystem in India. So recently the Prime Minister has initiated Prarambh, which is a Startup India International Summit. So after the launch of Startup India scheme in 2016, this is one of the major initiative, or you can say one of the major summit which is hosted by India. And this is organized by the DPIIT, that is the Department for the Promotion of Industry and International Trade under the Ministry of Commerce. Okay? And in this summit, almost 25 countries and 200 global leaders have participated. Right? Now, what is a startup? According to the DPIIT, the Department for the Promotion of Industry and International Trade, DPIIT, it has defined a startup is that entity which has not crossed 10 years. That means the age of this startup should be less than 10 years and its property, or you can say its value, should be less than 100 crore. Its turnover should be less than 100 crores in any previous year. Okay, इसको हम startup बोलते हैं. And if you see, there is a National Startup Advisory Council which has 28 members. This National Startup Advisory Council, it advises the government on various issues related to startup, and also it advises to build strong institutional measures for the encouragement of startups in the country. This is mainly to drive the startup ecosystem and make startups more sustainable, because it is these startups and MSMEs, if you see in the economy, these are the ones that will generate more jobs. These are the ones that will generate more growth. Okay, these are the ones that will in turn convert into a major global firm. Okay? So the composition of this National Startup Advisory Council, if you see, the chairman of this council is the Union Minister for Commerce and Industry, and the ex officio members, if you see, nominees of concerned ministries, departments and organizations who are not below the rank of joint secretary, and you have 28 non-official members nominated by the central government for 2 years. Okay. So now what is the current status of the startup ecosystem of India? See guys, this one you can directly use in your mains as well. See, PT365 is one such document which has lot of content, and this content will be directly helpful for your mains as well. So you have to focus on this content as much as possible and try to remember this as well, right? So for this only, in order to make your preparation easy, we are bringing these lectures, and also we are providing the summary of the PT365. Okay? If you join our Telegram channel, you can find the details of the summary what we are providing. What this summary will do. See, the PT365 economy document is about 100 pages. We have summarized it into about 50 pages. Because of this, what will happen? You will be able to revise things multiple times. It is very easy for a person to revise 50 pages 4-5 times rather than revising a 100-page document 2-3 times. Right? So, as the competition is becoming tougher, as the number of days for the prelims is reducing, it becomes inevitable for you to revise things, and for this only we are bringing these initiatives. So okay, our intention is simple, to make preparation easy for you. So we are doing all of these things in order to ensure that only. Okay? Now let's come back to this topic. So the current startup system, the current status of the startup system of India, if you see, India has the third largest startup ecosystem in the world with 38 unicorns. Unicorns are the major companies like Paytm, Swiggy, all these companies come under the unicorns. And the startup is witnessing 15% year-on-year average growth, 15%. And technology-centric startups have seen enormous growth. Let's take Paytm, which is a technological startup. Okay, so these companies, these tech startups actually are becoming very big. And for encouraging startups, India has followed a three-pronged approach, three-pronged strategy. What is that? First is the hand-holding. Hand-holding means encouraging startups in the initial phase with regarding to the intellectual property rights, or with regarding to certifications, or with regarding to the permissions, everything. So this is called hand-holding. Second one is the funding. So funding, if you see, the government has set up a fund with SIDBI to invest in the startups, which is a 2,500 crore startup, and the total corpus is 10,000 crore in 4 years. Okay, and also a credit guarantee is being given through the National Credit Guarantee Trust Company under SIDBI, which is being envisaged with a budget corpus of 500 crores every year for the next 4 years. And also tax exemptions, that is IT exemptions, are given for 3 years for the companies. The capital gains tax is exempted for the people investing in the startups. So all these things are done to encourage the startups so that they'll have more funds to invest in the growth of the company. Next is also incubation. The third strategy is incubation, where 31 innovation centers and 13 startup centers, 18 technology business incubators, 7 research parks, and 500 adult tinkering labs, and 35 new incubators. Okay, so they were all being set up because the government want to support them. The government is providing this infrastructural support to these startups, because in the initial phase the startups won't have that much capacity to grow, that much capacity to invest in infrastructure and everything. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए these are the supportive measures what the government is providing to the startups. So if you see the overall scenario, so if you see the analysis of the startups, the startup India was launched in 2016 and it has seen a tremendous success if you consider all of these facts. Over 3,000 crores is committed by the government for investing in 47 venture capitalist firms, and the government also has invested in about 323 startups from the fund of fund corpus, and 8,000 new registered startups. 8,000 startups were registered in the government e-marketplace. This government e-market portal is that portal which is used by the government agencies for the procurement. Okay, this will help the startups and the MSMEs because the government will directly procure from them. So all of these initiatives actually are helping startups to grow, because startups are something that will help innovation in the economy, that will bring more talent, more innovation, and more jobs to the economy as a whole. So next one what you have is the State's Startup Ecosystem Ranking, and this is launched by DPIIT, the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, and this is the second edition. So here all the states and union territories participated and they are ranked. So this is to establish uniformity and ensure standardization in the ranking. So there are two categories, X and Y. X contain all the states and Delhi, and Y contains all UTs except Delhi and northeastern states. Okay? And if you see, even these ranks are classified into 5 categories: best performer, top leader, leader, aspiring leader, and emerging startup ecosystem. And if you see the best performer in the X category, that is in the states, it is Gujarat, which is the best performer, and the top performer, if you see, it is Karnataka and Kerala. And if you see category Y, the best performer is Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and the leader is Chandigarh. Okay? And also there are various reform areas. Okay, in these reform areas, who are the leaders is also calculated by this Startup Ecosystem Ranking. So remember, Startup Ecosystem Ranking is launched by DPIIT, and this is the second edition. And also National Startup Awards 2020 were given. This is also given by the DPIIT, the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, under the Ministry of Commerce. They have announced this. The main aim of these startup awards is that it is to encourage the social good of the startups, because a successful startup doesn't mean it is performing good economically. Okay, a startup is something which also should be useful for the society as a whole. So the economy plus the society both are taken into account, right? And if you see DPIIT, okay, this actually encourages startups and it also encourages industries, and it has released the rankings as well as the awards. Okay, so this is organized by the Startup India. These awards are organized by Startup India, and the aim of this is to guide organization to stop measuring success in financial gains, which we have discussed. And there are 12 sectors under this: education, agriculture, finance, health, space, etc. And there are 6 parameters: innovation, scalability, economic impact, social impact, environmental impact, inclusiveness, and diversity. Okay, so these are the 6 parameters. And also during the event, the following initiatives were launched. They are Startup India Showcase and blockchain based certification verification system. These are also launched. So here the important thing what we have to remember is it is launched by DPIIT and it is organized by Startup India. And here there are 12 sectors like agriculture, education, etc. And there are 6 parameters. Okay, these are the ones we have to remember from the prelims point of view. Okay, Now let's move on to the next topic. Next one is the India Innovation Index 2020, and this is released by Niti Aayog. The main aim of this India Innovation Index is to encourage competitive federalism. That means to encourage competition among the states. Okay? So this aims to empower the states and union territories to take more institutional measures and strengthen their system, so that more and more companies can come and invest in the states. If you see the best performance under this index, it is Karnataka, which is ranked at number 1, Maharashtra at 2, Tamil Nadu at 3, Telangana at 4 and Kerala at 5. So these are the top 5 states. Okay? And every year it is announced by Niti Aayog along with international support. So this innovation, if you see, it is nothing but creation, development and implementation of a new product. Okay, product or process or service for improving the efficiency. So innovation is nothing but getting something new, whether in terms of the development of a product or in terms of a process or anything. Okay? And there are various issues that are identified at national level, like regional imbalance, because some regions are very well developed, whereas some regions are not, or some regions are not that developed. If you see, for example, in Telangana, Hyderabad is very developed, but if you take neighboring districts of Hyderabad, they are not that developed. So there is concentration of development. If you see the same case with Delhi, the same case is Bangalore. So this is what is the major challenge that we are facing today. There are also infrastructural issues, and also there are issues with research institutions, incubation centers and limited grassroots innovations. And at the state level, if you see, there are various issues like lack of state specific innovation cells, lack of state level engagements to showcase the best practices. Okay? So yeah, and another important index what we have is the Global Innovation Index, which is published every year by the World Intellectual Property Organization along with Cornell and INSEAD. Okay, so India Innovation Index by Niti Aayog and the Global Innovation Index by the World Intellectual Property Organization. So you have to remember these two. Okay? And recently UK has launched a 3 million innovation challenge fund in India, and the main aim of this 3 million innovation challenge fund is to support scientists in academia and industry to tackle COVID-19 pandemic and the climate change. So remember, the 3 million UK fund is to tackle COVID-19 and climate change. Okay? And the grants under the fund are part of the initiative under tech partnership known as tech clusters. So tech clusters are basically to support the development of the Indian tech industries and break the growth barrier so that they will grow as a global MNC. Okay? Now let's move on to the next topic. So the next one is the key concepts and entities in use. First one what you have is the National Database of Unorganized Workers. It is the first ever national database of unorganized workers, and this will include migrant workers as well. So migrant workers, as you know already, last year they have faced huge crisis. So that's why in order to empower the migrant workers, we are launching various initiatives, the one nation one card scheme and other things. So this national database of unorganized workers, it will provide platform for the workers and employers and the government to implement specific programs which is directly targeted towards these people who are working in the unorganized sector. Because this unorganized sector, if you see, they don't have even the social security benefits as well, right? And also they earn very less. Okay, and also they will have very poor working conditions. This is one of the major issue, and that's why we try to solve this issue even with the recently passed labor codes. Okay, and also Ministry of Labour and Employment, it is envisaged, it's seeded with Aadhaar. So Aadhaar will be linked with this, and as per Unorganized Workers Social Security Act of 2008, every worker registered will be issued a smart ID card. Next one is the Shankar Mitra, which is nothing but Sahakar Mitra, not Shankar, it's a Sahakar Mitra, sorry. Sahakar Mitra is the internship program to provide paid internship to the youth and also ensure them the availability of assured loans for the development of their business. This is mainly for the professional graduates in agriculture, IT, etc. And this initiative is launched by National Cooperative Development Corporation (NCDC), which is a statutory body under the Ministry of Agriculture. Okay? And the main function of this NCDC, if you see, this is to plan, promote and financing the production processing, marketing, storage, etc. with regard to the agricultural produce. So all the supply chain system with regard to agricultural produce is dealt by the National Cooperative Development Corporation. Next initiative we have is the Yuva, which is to encourage youth to participate in social activities which are linked with the UNICEF, UNDP, UNFPA, etc. Okay, and this aims to develop the potential of young people through engagement in social, civic and community initiatives. And recently the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports and Yuva, they both have signed an MOU. They have signed a partnership. Next one you have is the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. So this is an autonomous body, and it is a not-for-profit institute which is set up in 1983, and it is sponsored by banks like IDBI, IFCI, ICICI, SEBI, SBI, etc. And it aims to promote entrepreneurship and augment the pool of entrepreneurs in different sectors. It's a nodal institution of Government of Gujarat for the promotion of startup policy. Okay, so EDIA, the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, is selected by Minister of Education to establish Institution of Innovation Council to foster innovation, because as this institution has experience in encouraging innovation and various other things. And second edition of Student Entrepreneurship Program was launched by Niti Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission and Dell Technologies. Okay, this is mainly the second edition of the Student Entrepreneurship Program, as the name suggests, is to encourage young people, okay, young innovators of the Atal Tinkering Labs. As you know, Niti Aayog has launched the Atal Innovation Mission to encourage innovation among the youth, and they will receive mentor support, prototyping and testing support along with intellectual property registration, etc. Because as you know, these days the intellectual property registration is very key for the development of the industry. And also this student entrepreneurship program is dedicated to encourage the innovation spirit of the students especially, which is also the aim of Atal Innovation Mission. Next one you have is the Chunauti. So Chunauti, as the name suggests, is a challenge hunt under the NGIS, the Next Generation Incubation Scheme for Advanced Uninhibited Technology Intervention. So the Next Generation Startup Challenge contest under this is to address post-pandemic challenges, mostly in the tier 2 towns, because as you know, pandemic has brought a lot of challenges either in terms of economy or industry or with regarding to the people. So we need innovative solutions for all of these things. So these innovative solutions, if you see, they are expected to, the government in fact expect these innovative solutions to come up under this innovative Chunauti, which is the challenge. And this NGIS is the Next Generation Incubation Scheme, is a Software Technology Park of India scheme, which is the STPA. So this STPA has launched this scheme to encourage the startups. Okay, and it aimed to identify 300 startups in the identified sector and provide a seed fund up to 25 lakh and facilities like incubation facilities, mentorship, testing facilities, etc. Okay, so this is about the Chunauti, right? So that's it, friends, for this lecture. I'll see you again in the next lecture, and the next lecture is going to be very important, which is the agriculture. So stay tuned to WowIAS so that you can get more of such awesome content. Okay, so thank you. Jai Hind.